Good morning, it's MJ, the creator of the Crow Tarot and the Wise Dog Tarot, and thank you so much for joining me. It is Friday, August 23rd, and this is a general reading for the collective using the Wise Dog, and I hope everyone is getting ready to have a good weekend. I hope the close of the week is one that's positive. I'm going to float this idea out there and let me know what you guys think. Oops. Like, whoa, having a hard time shuffling this morning. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign this is not such a great idea. Wow. Okay. Well, my idea was to look into doing a podcast because I know, like, keeping this video, but also publishing it as a podcast as well. So the reason being is that I know that if you like to listen to the readings on YouTube, you really can't do that and do other things as well because you have to have YouTube open, or you have to pay something like $15 a month for YouTube Red, which, you know, is outrageous. But if I created this as a podcast, then you could have that platform. You could have this reading accessible so that you can listen to it perhaps, you know, while you're doing your morning chores or while you're at work, and you don't have to have a video playing. So anyway, let me know about that. I'm going to explore how to do this. Okay, anyway, let's get started with today's energy that we're working with in the current situation. The pup that comes forward to tell us what is available to us, perhaps if we're not already tapped into it, or perhaps something that we need to kind of be on the lookout for that is swirling around at this time. Interesting. The devil. Okay, well, hello, devil. We had that card on the crow reading not too long ago. And, you know, at that time, it was in the advice position, which made me think it was more about channeling passion. But here, I feel like there is something that is definitely, we had, you know, we had the anxiety card yesterday, the Nine of Swords, and now today we have the devil in the current position. So what is going on with us, people? What's happening? There is something that is really causing a great deal of friction. Let's see what the external influence, the Chariot. Okay, well, let's see what advice comes in, because I'm starting to get a picture here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So the advice that comes in is the Seven of Swords, and perhaps putting on your clever cap here. So the first thing I noticed, by the way, with these two cards, and I want you to keep in mind when I make my decks, I don't do them in order. I bounce around all over. And so with this deck, the devil was made like months between that and the Chariot and the Seven of Swords. So it's interesting, I find like that the color palette is identical. I mean, it's the exact same color palette, whereas in the advice card, you notice it's very different. And so I find that, I mean, these are like the little things that I notice. You may notice other things, you know, you may pick up on other things. And so here, for this reading, I feel like this devil, although it's like you're attached to it, there's a drive here, and it's like, it's almost like you're feeding on it. You know, you're feeding on that intensity, right? Where if things aren't going at like a breakneck pace, if things aren't charging ahead, you may feel like, whoa, something's not right. So there may be some sort of addiction to this, like to stress, right? I mean, people have that where it's like, if you're not always constantly going, then it doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. And so right now I feel like this devil energy is like you're calling on the chariot. You're calling on like opportunities that will keep this chariot energy coming to you. In other ways, like in different opportunities. So it's like you're tied to this, much like how these dogs are tied to the musher here. This musher is, think of like the colors are almost very similar here with this slab of meat, right? This musher is what's keeping you going. It's your drive. And so we have on this devil card this icy blue color in the background, and it matches this icy blue color that these dogs are charging through. And again, I feel as though there is a connection here. This devil is not necessarily an addiction to a substance or something that you're doing to your body. I think it's more about what's going on in your mind. It's more about what you want from your life. And right now, you are addicted. The addiction is to maybe not so much power, but control. And so this chariot is all about control, about controlling the intensity that's coming to you. So if you're somebody who has a hard time letting go, if you have this fixed idea in your head how things should go, if you're attached almost to a group and you're allowing that group to lead you in a way that like you feel this attachment to it, that it defines who you are, and it's that success. If you're attached to this idea, or if you're attached to a situation where you feel as though your success is derives from this group, and you're driven to make this group succeed, I feel like that may be where this attachment is, that you don't see yourself as capable of being alone or capable of taking your talents elsewhere. Does that make sense? Right? I mean, it's like I feel like you're in a group. There's a group that you're driving, right? And there's this intensity with it, and you're pushing, you're mushing along, and things are going very quickly, and you may be the one who is leading the pack here. And because of that, because you sense that your position is connected to the success or failure of whatever thing that you're working on, you may feel as though you're not enough on your own. Like you would have a hard time perhaps moving maybe to a different job where you weren't working within a team, or where you were responsible solely for the success. So here you're working with other people, I feel. This is just my vibe. And it's like you almost need that. You need other people around you to feed perhaps an ego and to draw energy from, so that you can move ahead quickly. But you don't really need to. I mean, the question is, it's like, are you part of this group because you're adding something of value to it, and they're adding something of value to you, and you're enjoying this process? Or are you really just like thriving on the stress, that comes from this project that you're working on, and you're linking your self-worth, your value to the overall success of whatever it is that you're working on together? Do you see that you have value outside this group? So that's the vibe I'm getting here with these two cards, especially because they're so connected. I mean, if you see that would be the only thing about the podcast, is you wouldn't be able to see the colors, but see everything. It's like it's almost identical, and you can see how each one sort of plays off of each other. Each of the colors play off of each other. It's such a contrast. And so That's what I'm getting here with this Chariot right now. You know, this is about you driving forward, moving ahead at a quick speed, and being tethered to something. And in that connection, there's an attachment that is not so much in the material plane, but in your mind. You're attached to it in your mind. The advice that the dogs bring back here is the Seven of Swords. And again, this is a game. Life is a game. Are you clever enough to break free? Are you clever enough to see the situation for what it is as an opportunity for you to grow and expand on your own? Yes, you work together well on a team, but do you recognize that you're the one here I feel like you're the one that's driving this. You have that ability. And because of that, because you have this drive within you, I feel like what needs to be let go is this thought that you can't do something on your own. So that's what I'm picking up here from these pups, that you have within you all that you need to be clever. Right now, you may be selling yourself short and just taking what you can get by staying within this team, driving it, doing a really great job, by the way, but you're attaching your self-worth to what happens within the group, the success of the group or the failure of the group. And you're not recognizing that you yourself as an individual have so much more to offer. So that's the question I'm getting, you know, or the message I'm getting here with these cards is that, do you know your worth? And are you settling? Are you settling for less because it's a bit easier to stay within this arena here? It's harder to go on your own. So I hope this reading makes sense. And I really love it when the colors just play so well together. Yeah. Anyway, much love to you. Peace. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.